Man United stars are discontented and blame Ten Hag for poor start to season after sack claims. Manchester United players are blaming Erik Ten Hag for their poor start to the new season after being overworked in pre-season, according to reports. Their 3-2 loss to Galatasaray in the Champions League at the beginning of October marked the Red Devils' worst start to a season since 1986. Since then, Man United have become the most informed team in the Premier League over the last 5 matches with 4 wins, despite their poor performances. However, in the same period, they were knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Newcastle in an embarrassing 3-0 defeat, lost the Manchester derby 3-0 in the Premier League and lost 4-3 to Copenhagen in the Champions League. That defeat to Copenhagen leaves their chances of qualifying for the last 16 of the Champions League hanging by a thread, and defeat to Galatasaray next week would seal their fate. Ten Hag has a number of off-field situations to deal with and has also had to cope with a large number of injuries, the Man United manager having to cope without up to 16 players. And The Guardian claims that a number of Man United players believe the team's poor start is down to Erik Ten Hag overworking the squad in pre-season, and the Stars have complained of beginning the campaign feeling as tired as when they finished the previous one. Speaking after they lost to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup earlier this month, Ten Hag, who has been coping with speculation he could be sacked, vowed that his Man United team would play better once they got some of their injured players back. Ten Hag said, "They can play better, everyone saw that last season, and I have to do everything to make them play better. This is my responsibility. Of course, when all the injured players return, I will have not only a good but also a full squad. We will definitely play better, and in this case, we won't have to think about the next transfer window." Zinedine Zidane. The ex-Real Madrid coach has been away from the game for almost 2 years now, but he seems ready to come back. "I feel refreshed now," he told GQ this summer. "There is nothing better than talking to a player before a match. I need that." The thing is, having achieved what he's achieved while retaining his unique aura, Zidane will have his pick of jobs. He is perennially linked with PSG, the feeling being that if he was going to work in the Paris circus, he would have done it by now. You could say similar about links with United. In what way, right now, would the job at Old Trafford hold any allure for Zizou? The most recent talk of his next gig centered on Marseille, with it being reported that he had agreed to boss OM if the club was taken over by Saudi investors. And if so, he'd get a huge transfer kitty, which highlights his bargaining position. United, in their current guise, could offer Zidane very few of the things that will draw him to his next role.